Hi, welcome to Module 3, Preparing the Mother and Her Partner for the Birth. I wanted to share a bereavement card that I created. This is a two-sided, oversized card that helps the mother and her partner, husband, through the decision-making process after they get the news that their baby has died in utero, or if they know the baby will die shortly after birth. It also offers suggestions for after the couple leaves the hospital. And in order to get some of these cards, which I'd love to share with you, or if you know of someone in the area, other hospitals, practitioners, anyone you think this would be of use to, you can order these cards either through Kylie Hanish's website. It's the Return to Zero Center for Healing website, or you can email me at drivylove@gmail.com. The cards are available in English, Spanish, and French. You can try to enlarge the card if you'd like, but it is really helpful in the decision-making process. If the baby has died in utero, this is an example of what could be said. Obviously, if the baby is of younger gestation, you would adjust the wording accordingly. But I thought that this was just a nice example of helping to minimize trauma and fear with the mom and her partner. So saying something like, you don't have to make any decisions right now. We can take this one step at a time. The important message is to slow everything down. There is no rush. There's no rush for decisions. There's no rush, amount of time spent with the baby. They can spend as much time as they want with the baby. And I have yet to see a mother, father, or partner who regretted seeing their baby. To them, their baby will be perfect and beautiful, and they are the mother and father to this baby, and they generally are very, satisfied that they held the baby and took pictures and spent some time absolutely with the baby. Preparing the parents for the birth of the baby. It's important that you discuss the possible appearance of the baby after it's born. Taking any guesswork out of the mother or father's mind helps reduce trauma, helps them feel like a sense of control, a sense of like they're with people who can help them and support them and guide them through this process, as they will be absolutely still in shock and looking to everyone in the room to inform them of how to be, how to behave, and what to expect. So continuing on with the possible appearance, letting them know the color, that the lips tend to appear incredibly red. The skin might be peeling. It depends how long the baby has been dead in utero. The extremities may start to appear a little bluish. There might be a little bruising from the birth. There'll be no responsiveness or crying, that it's eerily silent in the room. There is no baby crying. Let them know that the baby's body does become cooler over time, and may start to, some rigor mortis might set in, might become a little stiffer, but it takes quite a few hours for that to happen, and it depends how long the baby's been in utero, passed away in utero. There is something called a cuddle cot. It's on the market that people are starting to use. This is the website for it. It keeps the baby's body cool. They can keep the baby in the room with them as long as they want. An alternative to the cuddle cot is to just use ice packs under the head, the neck, and the back if they'd like to room in with the baby for more than 48 hours. If the baby will be born alive and die shortly after birth, prepare the mother for the typical behaviors of a dying infant. They will most likely not want to breastfeed. Let them know there will be changes in the baby's breathing pattern. And hearing is the last of the senses to go when we die. So singing to the baby, playing music, reading the baby a book, a story, just speaking, talking, letting them know that's actually incredibly comforting for the baby. And it's actually very comforting for the mother and father to feel like they have something to do, something to comfort the baby. It helps them too with their grief. And ask the mom if she wants skin-to-skin contact. That can be very lovely. That can be a wonderful memory for her for the brief time that she does get to spend with her baby. Bereaved parents never forget the understanding, respect, and genuine warmth they receive from caregivers, nurses, doctors, midwives, doulas, even family members. Everything is remembered, especially in a trauma state. Every facial expression, the words, the tone of voice, the behaviors, the way they handled their baby is remembered forever. So it's really important that you're conscious and present with this family. As a healthcare provider or a nurse, you may see this quite often and may be a little bit vicariously traumatized or tired or used to seeing this. So sometimes things get done or said that you probably wouldn't have done or said if this wasn't your line of work. So just to remember that for this couple, everything you do and say is going to be remembered for the rest of their lives. So what can health providers do? Reassuring them is so important. And again, taking any guesswork out of the experience, offering comfort and validation, normalizing all their feelings is super, super, super important. Continuing on what else you can do, demonstrating empathy and sensitivity, handling the deceased baby as if it were a living baby, encouraging the parents to parent their baby by giving it a bath, putting on its diaper, swaddling the infant, reading a story, all the things that they would do if the baby had been born alive is very, very healing and comforting and helps them take charge and feel in control of the situation given the circumstances. After the birth, offer to take photographs. There are services. There's a national service. Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. There might be some local little businesses or bereavement photography services in the area. Ask if you want them to be called. And if not, definitely make sure there's some pictures taken. They may not want them in the moment, but they are definitely going to want them later. Very few parents never want a picture of their baby. It's important that maybe one be put in the file so that they can come back later and get it if in the moment they don't want the pictures taken. Taking hand and footprints, making plaster molds, the blankets and hats that are used. Maybe they can bring a blanket from home that they would like the baby wrapped in, giving them the bracelet, providing a certificate with the baby's name, date of birth, weight, and length. Giving the parents something tangible to take with them as they're leaving the hospital without their precious baby. Some hospitals offer something to hold, which is very comforting for moms who do leave the hospital without their infant. In California, we have something called the California Certificate of Stillbirth. When a baby is born dead, there is no birth certificate, but this is a validation that there was a birth and it took place. This is very comforting for many families. Many hospitals, for some reason, are not telling parents about this. So if you do offer it in your state, if you happen to know or you could find out, that would be great. And letting them know is really is a nice thing to offer for them. They will always receive a death certificate, but not a birth certificate. If the baby is born alive, they will get a birth certificate. But in cases of stillbirth, they will not. This concludes Module 3 on helping a woman and her partner through the birth. Please continue on to Module 4, where I will discuss creating ritual for healthy grieving, what is helpful for the grieving mother and her partner, and gender differences in grieving.